fast, faces pass, and I'm homebound. No.
Alright, I've got a minute tops to do this, and this is all improvisation. Hello, everybody. Good morning, evening, or even night. I don't know when you're watching this, but that's not the point. Forsaken has dropped Noli recently, and I haven't made any content, and Noli's pretty popular. You know what that means, Noli content. Everyone else has already talked about this, but I figured I might as well throw my hat in the ring and make my own video about Noli. In this video, we will not be going over skins. I think I should get that out of the way. We will only be going over Noli and the 2 new maps that have released, because that's honestly all I can really afford. Yeah. I'm broke as hell in Forsaken. We did get a lot in this update, but unfortunately I won't be able to talk about all of it, because again, skins were the biggest part of the update. We got 40 of them. Anyways, my minute of glory in the intro is up, where I'm not embarrassing myself. So, enjoy the video. Alright, let's immediately get this out of the way. Noli's here! Yippee! As people had suspected, his abilities are essentially an upgrade of Cool Kids. However, they do have their own gimmicks to them that I would say make them feel more special and less like Cool Kids. Like with Void Rush, which I just did and failed miserably at. Get a look at this bozo. Anyways, so for Void Rush, you actually have to hit them twice, unless you had previously given them Hallucination, in which your Void Rush will immediately count the full hit. And for his Nova, instead of being an object that goes through walls, the moment it makes contact with a wall, it explodes. This also goes for players, of course. As for Noli's 3rd ability, Observant, it allows him to teleport to any generator across the map. I actually had a whole segment planned for this where I would obviously go over what Noli's Observant does. However, I didn't feel like putting it in after I had recorded it, simply for the fact that it felt wrong. I don't entirely know what Noli's Observant does, because I forgot to research that. Honestly, I'm not a very trustworthy source for this stuff. I just need content. Back to what I was saying, though. I don't entirely know what Noli's Observant does. All I know is it gives you Hallucination if you're like far away from the generator that he spawns at. But that's really gonna be all for the Noli segment, because he doesn't have much else going for him unless you look at skins, which again we are not doing. On to the next section. Alright, for our next segment, we have the maps. I think the maps are my favorite part of this update, honestly, because they're really, really well crafted, and you can tell they put a lot of love into them. So the first map that was added to this update was Work at a Pizza Place. Yep, the game. Also where Elliot came from, actually. Back to what I was saying. The Work at a Pizza Place has been added as a map into Forsaken, and it's a broken, burnt down, well, I wouldn't consider it completely burnt down, but it's a broken up and burnt version of the usual Work at a Pizza Place map that's in the actual game. Here's a couple examples of some screenshots I took, and maybe even a video. I don't know if I have found time to record it yet, but as I was saying, yeah, that's actually it for that map. The other map, though, that got added is a Noli-themed map, which is the Tempest. And as for the Tempest, I haven't played it too much, but it seems to be, like, not that bad of a map, honestly. It's got, like, a couple of buildings, and, like, there's this whole big area that feels like a ship to be on for some reason. Even though it's not a ship, it just feels like it's a pirate ship. And it also has this cool purple tint to it to go for Noli's purple. But that's all for that map. And that's actually really it for just the maps section. Which actually means that it's the end of the video, but I don't want it to end so early. I got like 20 minutes of video footage. I don't want to end this video early. Oh, what did I talk about? I don't know. I don't know. But hey, if you're still here, that's cool. I'm glad you could get your occasional Forsaken stuff from me, even though I'm not a very trustworthy source. Hey, if you guys want to watch the gameplay that I've got put together, that's fine by me. I don't have much of it, but that's fine. It's a little boring though. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. So, if you're gonna be leaving now, have a good one. I'll see you in the next video if I ever dare to upload, because for some reason I just can't. I'm low-key bad at it. But if you're not gonna be leaving, then enjoy the gameplay. Okay? And that's all.
can't